Yama. Now, one represents yin, and the other represents yang. Yang, yang. Does anybody know about Osiris's phallus gland? When he was lying down, where was his phallus gland? Going upward, right? His phallus gland was going up, right? Well, who sat on it? Aset. She formed herself into a falcon, and she sat on her husband's phallus gland because it was one of the missing pieces when Set and Osiris or Set and Heru were in battle. He was chopped up into 14 pieces, and the missing piece was his phallus gland. So that triangle going upward here represents Yang. Yang. She sat on it. You see that cross there? Right? She sat on it. That's yin. You see across in there? You see the upper triangle and the lower triangle? It represents spiritual balance. It represents a trinity going up and a trinity going down. Man has an outie, woman has an innie. You see? It also represents the interlocking. There's an interlocking going on. Two triangles interlocking with one another, forming a balance. Your higher self and your lower self, balancing each other off. Another symbol. No.
That's another yin yang,
That's the yin yang symbol. What school of information is that? Confucianism. Taoism. Taoism goes back to Confucius, who dealt with logic. So this is the balance. And it's actually teardrops of water. Or do they look like little tadpoles? With a little nucleus as the eye. So within the woman, in 9 months, there's thousands of years of evolution. In 9 months, that's how great you are. That's how great you are. That's how great your mommy is. In 9 months, up to 9 months. Okay? But this represents spiritual balance, the same as the upside, the right side up and downward Star of David. They call it the Star of David. Okay, but if it's the Star of David, and David means beloved, you have to be spiritually balanced in your yin and yang. Your masculine and feminine nature has to be balanced in order for you to be loved. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to walk in confidence, brothers, we can't see the woman as some enemy. Yeah. And we can't see her as inferior to ourselves because, see, once we start believing that yin or yang is greater than yin, then what we do is we set up a rival. I'm still going through the process of debugging my willy chip. I'm still cracking the code. Still. Because we were taught that males, we don't cry. We don't show any emotion. We're like Spock on Star Trek, you know. Women are emotional. James Kirk, Star
Enterprise. Spock! Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah. He was the emotional. Spock was like a guru, Hindu, Muslim monk. He showed less emotion. So in the TV show Star Trek, and in the movie, James T. Kirk, right? He was the emotional yin. Yang, sorry. He was the yang. Active emotional, yang. Spock was yin, reserved. Reserved. He was reserved, chill, And this symbol is balance. It's supreme balance. Here's another symbol. Here you go. The cross. The cross is another symbol of balance. It's another symbol of balance. Man's horizontal nature. Your ability to act like you on all fours. And then man's vertical nature, which is your ability to mentally, not physically, but to mentally and spiritually stand erect, upright. You follow what I'm saying? So, when we are not balanced, what happens to this? What happens to the cross? You cannot bear it. That's why, according to the Helios Biblios, it mentions you bearing whose cross? Not the man called Jesus. Your own cross. Well, what does bearing your cross mean? Yes. It also means bearing your own personal issues. It means bearing and being able to deal with the crossing of your masculine and feminine natures, yin, yang, high self, low self. How are you going to balance it and put them together? They have to cross. Well, actually, in reality, it's really not. The vertical is really not. The vertical is really not long enough. It's not supposed to be, because the cross is actually it's a symbolic meaning. But they made the cross long because somebody named Jesus was supposed to be on top of the cross. But the cross that is really it's the symbol of balance. It represents the crossing in the back or in the middle of your brain is the pineal and pituitary gland. And there's an energy called the ida and pingala. I think that's how you spell it. It's the ida and pingala, which runs up the spinal, which is the same as yin and yang. Ida pingala. So the crucifix or the resurrection or the cross, where the cross meets, is right here at the place of skull, which is in you. It's in you. It's when the fluid and energy of the Kundalini energy comes all the way up here to the 33rd degree vertebrae, and it crosses. That's when the energy crosses. That's why your right brain controls the left side, and your left side controls the right side. The cross occurs in you when you balance off this.